Milo Radio. Hi everyone, I'm Milo Radio and welcome back. I've been here, in this void, hanging out. Anyway, let's get on with the video. My first gaming console was the DS. I vividly remember going to the mall with both my parents and beaming as I built my first game. What was a sleek and to quality handheld then, now has broken hinges and a dodgy screen, but some of my favourite memories are with that little console. But with owning my own console came buying my own games, and inexperienced with what was quality and what wasn't, I bought most games based on what had the coolest box art or which brands I recognised. This led to some pretty hood game choices, which I think are interesting enough to warrant their own video. So here are all the DS games that I bought as a child. The Legend of Spyro, The Eternal Night. Spyro the Dragon is a classic for the PlayStation 1, but its trip over to modern consoles wasn't quite as well remembered. This was the portable release of a Wii and PS1 title, and it suffers from a desperate attempt to modernize the series. This resulted in trying to make a simple 3D platformer really edgy. The story is about Spyro having to reach a mountain where the souls of the dead roam before an eclipse that'll bring about the Ragnarok. It's really uncalled for and pretty stupid, honestly. In terms of the gameplay department, it suffers from all the flaws that having a 3D platformer on a pretty underpowered system usually does. It has a really short draw distance and imposed fog. The attempt to incorporate combat is undermined by the fact that it's genuinely easier to run away than to actually fight the enemies. The game also has laser puzzles. So many slow, easy puzzles. I tried to beat it for this review, I really did, but everything adds together to make something that isn't even worth joking about. Lego The Lord of the Rings. It's a port of a Lego game to the DS. All my previous points for console games ported to DS apply. Mind you, it's handled a lot better than Spyro, with the levels reduced in size so there isn't the imposed fog draw distance. But the original's open hub world doesn't port across well, and it's very hard to navigate and really confusing. The characters look fine, but the environment textures are pretty ugly. All in all, it's not a terrible port, but it's not really worth seeking out. Just get the console version. Spectrobes. Now this is an odd one. Does anyone even remember when this happened? Basically, Disney tried to outdo Pokemon. I don't know how they thought it would work, but surprisingly, it's actually not at all bad. The story centers around two galactic police called Rowland and Gina who find an old man. This old man has managed to escape from his galaxy before it was consumed by an alien species known as the Kroll. With a K. Anyway, gameplay consists of exploring planets, fighting the Kroll, and doing some side quests along the way. The actual collecting of the monsters is way different to Pokemon though. Firstly, you don't catch Spectrobes, you find fossils that you excavate with a stylus. Then you put the now excavated Spectrobe in an incubator. If it's with another Spectrobe, they'll gain a friendship and will be better when fighting together. While in the incubator, you can feed them minerals to buff up individual stats, and after a while they'll evolve into their next form. As you can tell, there's a lot more going on here, but it's also much harder to grasp, and I didn't really understand the system when I was younger. In terms of combat, it takes a real-time approach, with you running around with two Spectrobes at your side that you actively command whilst dodging enemy attacks. While this may sound cool, it's actually very exploitable. If you get two friend Spectrobes and run around in circles whilst charging up a special attack, enemies can't hit you. I found it out early on, and after that, the game lost all challenge. On the subject of visuals though, this game looks good for the DS, with many colourful environments, owing to the fact that each planet can have different theming without a need for cohesion. All the Spectrobe designs are really great, with some especially memorable evolved forms. Also, it has a big, dense manual with full art and screenshots. Man, I miss those. Despite the game's deeply flawed combat, I'd say it's still very good, and worth tracking down or emulating if it interests you. I know it had two sequels, one on the DS and another one on the Wii, but I never played those, so I can't comment. Mario Kart DS. Do I really need to talk about this one? It's Mario Kart! You drive cars, get angry at your friends, and have fun. It's great. It's really, really great. Also, Waluigi Pinball is in this one, and that is the best course. Maybe play Mario Kart 7 because that also has Waluigi Pinball, but do not play Mario Kart 8. It doesn't have Waluigi Pinball. It's not worth your time. Littlest Pet Shop Garden. I don't even really know about this one. It doesn't have good box art, it certainly wasn't my demographic, and what makes it worse was it was the first DS game I ever bought. Basically, you get sparkly-eyed but frankly really ugly animals. You choose an animal and can run around with the joypad. Over time you unlock more stuff, like more animals to play as and minigames to play. Eventually you unlock new worlds with their own minigames. One weird thing that I also found is, outside of the minigames in the main menu, there is no music. It's just silence and sound effects. Gives the whole game an eerie vibe, and keep in mind that this is a young children's game about fluffy animals. And the menu music isn't half bad. Mind you, I do have a lot of nostalgia for this game. Say this game isn't shovelware, it clearly has something fun to it, but it's really empty of any depth. I don't know, I have a lot of love for it being a really early game of mine, but I wouldn't say it's worth checking out unless you have prior memories of. Crash of the Titans. I'm genuinely surprised by this. I grew up with the original PS1 Crash Bandicoot games, and despite the console version of this game being awful, I really do like this port. It's a plenty good game, and certainly a pretty great Crash Bandicoot game on its own merits. The movement is smooth, it looks pretty good for a DS game, not beautiful but serviceable, and definitely expressively animated. It's a linear 3D platform with a couple of objectives per level. The catch is that you can hijack any enemy and ride them. Each enemy has their own movements and attacks, so quickly swapping between enemies mid-battle to get an advantage is honestly really fun. These hijackables also add some more diversity to combat, as Crash honestly isn't very fun to fight with on his own. There are quite a lot of little minigames to split up the action. Most of these are fun about twice, but a couple are actually really enjoyable multiple times. I'd definitely give this one a recommendation. It's a really great port, and through what I hear, it's actually much better than the console version. If you just want more Crash, this is for you. I do recommend playing on hard mode though, it is much more fun and a genuine challenge at times. Crash, Mind Over Mutant. After the last Crash game, I was really excited to play this one. And it's bad. It's so bad. It's not a 3D platformer, it's a 2D side-scroller. That could certainly work, but it's done so poorly. Its level themes are unoriginal. Desert, forest, fire, snow. And each level of each world looks exactly the same tile set every time. It's uninspired, the combat is bad, the bosses are worse, and its poor quality is really confusing. This came out a year after Crash of the Titans, and it's made by the same developer. Why did this have such a dip in quality? And there are even some 2D bonus platforming stages in Crash of the Titans, and they were better than all of this game. Just buy Crash of the Titans, it's a much better game. This one isn't worth anybody's time.
End of part 1.